Patagonia. In today's world, fashion plays a very important factor in day-to-day life. People are often inspired by trends they found scrolling through social media or online stores. These online stores are influenced by the bigger, more expensive players in their niche, thus creating something similar with a smaller price tag. But sadly, the replicated clothes don't stand the test of time, making them fall under the wear and tear category.
If you're new to the channel, welcome to Business Unmasked, where we unmask the stories behind interesting and successful companies. Hit the like button so more people can hear stories like these, and subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. Now let's get to the unmasking.
Patagonia, a company founded by Yvon Chouinard, had a completely different goal coming into the clothing industry. Their main aim is to make simplistic, eco-friendly, and more sustainable clothing. They pick purpose over fashion. So what makes them sustainable? To answer that question, we need to start from the very beginning. As a young boy, Yvon Chouinard moved to California. Growing up, he had a strong interest in climbing, but unfortunately, it wasn't much of an activity in America back then. So instead, he joined a local falconry club just so he could be rappelled down rocks in search of falcon nests. Soon, climbing had not only become a passion, but also a way of living for Yvon. When he found out that the equipment used was only harming the rocks, he decided to make his own climbing equipment to be more environmentally cautious. As more and more people heard about the reality, they were interested in buying Yvon's custom-made pitons, metal spikes used in climbing. He sold them at the rate of $1.50 each and used the money to make a living. With that, he continued his travels, climbing rocks by day and forging pitons at night. Yvon's passion took him rock climbing across the world, one of them being Scotland in 1970 for a winter climb, a trip that changed his life. One day in Edinburgh, before his climb, he stumbled upon a rugby shirt at a sports store. After a closer look, he realized that the material was perfect for climbing. It was rugged and reinforced so it wouldn't rip. During his climb, all his friends were highly impressed with the rugby shirt, especially because the collar prevented the hardware slings from cutting into Yvon's neck. From there on, Yvon decided to wear that shirt for all his climbs, and to his surprise, it created a fashion trend among climbers. This rugby jersey was soon in high demand, and Yvon, ever the opportunist, made the best of it. The jerseys were selling like hotcakes. It was an instant success, and to keep up with demand, Yvon had to place orders from England, New Zealand, and Argentina. By 1972, they had expanded further. They were now selling rain cagoule, bivouac sacks from Scotland, boil wool gloves and mittens from Austria, and hand-knit reversible schizo hats from Boulder. As the clothing side outgrew the equipment side of the business, Yvon decided it deserved its own unique identity, and so in 1973, Patagonia was born, a name described to bring romantic visions of glaciers tumbling into fjords, jagged windswept peaks, gauchos, and condors. Patagonia always focused on ways to perfect their craft, whether it was their materials or the effect it had on the environment, with a lot of effort and research to back it up. In the initial days, at their store in Boston, a few of the employees complained about headaches, so Yvon decided to take a closer look. He closed the store and called for a chemical engineer who said the headaches were caused due to less ventilation and the use of a poisonous chemical, formaldehyde, put on cotton to avoid shrinkage. With that information, Yvon not only improved the ventilation system, but also stopped using harmful substances to produce his clothes to begin with. And that is how Patagonia became one of the first companies to start using organically grown cotton. It was a risk the company was willing to take, even though they knew it would affect their pricing, bringing the prices up. Patagonia claims to be an anti-consumerist and pro-environment company. They have a very minimalistic approach to advertising. One of their most popular ad campaigns was a picture of their jacket and a bold text saying, "Don't buy this jacket." And not only was this campaign a winning success, but also increased their sales. However, unfortunately, this also drew a lot of controversies. People started believing that it was all a facade to boost sales and that Patagonia was not truly concerned about the environment. If we take a closer look at that campaign, Yvonne's purpose was to inform customers to not overbuy, as the environmental cost of one jacket outweighs its consumer cost. The message was to help customers be more sustainable and less irresponsible. Today, Patagonia is one of the world's leading environmentally friendly clothing brands. They even have a worn wear section that started in April 2017. This concept lets customers return certain Patagonia merchandise in good condition, of course, in exchange for new merchandise credits. The clothes get cleaned, repaired, and resold on their worn wear website. As part of the campaign, Patagonia constructed a purpose-built truck to travel around America just to repair clothes on the move. The converted biodiesel truck was kitted out with industrial sewing machines with two of Patagonia's seamstresses on board for the journey. This turned out to be a huge step in the right direction for the company. They even set an example for other companies to try and adapt to such tactics to help the industry become more environmentally friendly. That being said, Patagonia reaches far beyond just clothing. They're committed to teach and train the next generation of environmental activists in hopes that they continue their search for a solution to the ongoing environmental crisis. Coming back to the question I first asked, what makes them sustainable? The answer is simple. Their intention is good. Patagonia tries to do better for the environment. Several factors go into making their products environmentally friendly, and they come bearing a high cost. Their customers are well aware of their purchase and see value to what they buy. Patagonia not only sells products that last longer, but ones that can easily be repaired or returned to the company. They also spread awareness of all the environmental issues we face, while giving active solutions for the world to follow. They are very clear that their target audience is not the fashionistas, but the environmentalists. So that's the story of the eco-friendly company Patagonia.
If you enjoyed this video, consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons. It does wonders for the YouTube algorithm, so more people can see our videos and so that you can be notified when we launch our next video. We try and put out at least one new one per week, and as you can imagine, the research and editing alone of these type of videos takes us close to 18 hours. So we would really appreciate it if you could also check out our Patreon. For just $1 a month, you can support our work. We produce over 12 videos per month, so that is literally 8 cents per video. Thank you so much, and we'll see you at our next unmasking.